My beloved child, I ask you to pause for just a moment and sense the depth of my care that envelops you right now. For I am beside you like a steadfast guardian, ready to guide your every step and lift your weary heart whenever it sinks under life's burdens. You might feel the weight of the world pressing on your shoulders, a sense of uncertainty gnawing at your courage. But do not let these worries overshadow the truth that I am always by your side, actively working on your behalf, and I will never permit you to journey alone. Trust the gentle stirring within your spirit, that quiet assurance that speaks of my tenderness. For in your most vulnerable moments, my grace becomes your greatest strength, ensuring that no matter how fierce the storms rage, you can find refuge in my unchanging devotion. So do not lose hope, dear one, for I am nearer than your very breath, sustaining every beat of your heart, whispering comfort into the depths of your struggles, calling you forward with unwavering love. I know how the concerns of life can invade your thoughts, whether they revolve around finances, relationships, health, or the myriad uncertainties that color your future. And I want you to remember that no challenge exceeds my power to redeem. No heartbreak lies beyond my capacity to heal, and no question escapes my boundless wisdom. Think of me as the rock upon which you can anchor every fear, every doubt, and every ache you harbor, confident that I will bear the load too heavy for you to manage alone. You may sometimes wonder if my attention remains fixed on you among so many. But I tell you now, my gaze never wavers, my compassion never dims, and my presence never departs. Rest in this truth. My beloved, you are never alone, for I am always with you, enveloping you in my infinite love. My precious child, know that I yearn for you to experience renewed bravery, even when circumstances cast shadows over your soul. For it is precisely in these moments that my strength shines brightest in your weakness. I call you to draw close, to lean on me with an unguarded heart, trusting that I am for you, not against you, holding your hand as we navigate the valleys together. While my spirit breathes courage into your weary frame, allow your heart to thrive in my promise that you need not fear tomorrow or regret yesterday. For my arms remain wide open to shower you with peace, hope, and a future brimming with possibility. Believe in this with all your heart, dear one, and take that next step forward. For you do not walk alone in this vast world. You are of inestimable value in my sight, fashioned with loving precision, fashioned for a purpose only you can fulfill, woven together with divine artistry to reflect my own character in a unique way. Do not ever regard yourself as insignificant, for you bear the imprint of my creativity, and the very breath that animates you comes from my lips. You are a precious jewel in my eyes, glistening with the potential to impact lives and transform darkness into a space where my light can dwell. There is a reason your heart beats with that specific rhythm. Your mind envisions what it does, and your voice resonates with an unmatched tone. Each aspect of you is a component of the glorious mosaic I designed. I rejoice with uncontainable delight each time your heart bows before me, each time you quietly whisper a prayer of thanks or cry out in surrender amidst your storms. Just as a father leaps with joy at the sight of his child's first steps, so do I celebrate every faithful move you make toward me, every instance you choose hope over despair, every moment you cling to love rather than succumb to bitterness. In my kingdom, there is no measure of success that compares to a heart that remains open to my leading. For in those subtle acts, you unveil the wonders of my grace to a world that desperately needs tangible expressions of love. So embrace your worth, trust in my unwavering promise, and know that you were handcrafted to bring a reflection of heaven's compassion wherever your feet tread. I understand the burdens that weigh on your mind, for my eyes scan the depths of your thoughts, recognizing the silent tears you shed when no one else is around to notice. I see how you toss and turn in bed, the swirling concerns about tomorrow's demands never granting you peace, the throbbing worry for loved ones' well-being chipping away at your composure. Know that no matter how private these internal battles remain, you are not fighting them alone. For I remain a steadfast observer and willing helper, ready to insert my presence into every crevice of your pain. There is no weight so large it cannot be displaced by my strength, no night so dark that it cannot yield to the dawn of my comfort. Life can sometimes deliver you to places of emptiness, where loneliness resonates deeper than words can express, or exhaustion sets in from giving more than you have ever received in return. But child, do not imagine that these valleys define you, for I walk with you through each one, gently reminding you that you are more than your present circumstances, more than your moments of heartbreak and confusion. My heart aches when I witness your sorrow. I want to envelop you in my arms, whispering that your tears have not gone unnoticed, that your concerns are precious to me, and that I have etched you onto my hands with an everlasting covenant that no circumstance can erase. When the nights stretch long and the days feel unforgiving, turn your face toward me, letting my love instill hope where despair tries to roost. I am your shield, an ever-present protection surrounding your thoughts and your emotions, an unbreachable barrier standing firm against every volley the adversary might unleash. Stand behind this shield of my faithfulness and watch as each arrow of doubt or fear simply melts away in the brilliance of my unceasing love. I am also your refuge in every storm, an unwavering fortress that endures even when the fiercest winds lash against its walls, guaranteeing that no wave can sweep you away while you rest under my guard. I vow, from the depths of my being, that no harm shall prevail against you, for your life is held in the strong clasp of my mercy. Even if you perceive the storm intensifying, do not lose heart right now. I am orchestrating solutions beyond your comprehension, opening doors you cannot see, and aligning resources you have yet to realize, ensuring that you find favor and safe passage through turbulent waters. I desire for you to unburden the anxieties haunting your spirit, those concerns you carry like a yoke that saps your joy and weighs heavily upon your day-to-day living. Bring them to me in the sweet simplicity of prayer, for I listen with unfailing attention to every breath that escapes your lips, every silent sigh your heart makes, every longing your words cannot capture. You do not require eloquent speeches, elaborate rituals, or perfect articulation, because I am the God who discerns the language of tears, interprets the groans of an aching heart, and celebrates even the faintest flicker of faith. In my presence, you are free to let down the walls you have erected to protect yourself, free to reveal the raw vulnerability of a soul searching for solace, and free to trust in my willingness to exchange your burdens for my sustaining grace. So do not fear the uncertainty of tomorrow, but instead, immerse yourself in my presence today, letting me carry the weight of your concerns as you place your hand in mine. Trust that I read the unspoken chapters of your life, the portions of your story that remain hidden to the eyes of others, and I plan each new page with a fatherly wisdom that seeks only your highest good. Should doubts arise, cling to the knowledge that I have parted seas for my children. I have collapsed impenetrable walls, and I have breathed life into what appeared lifeless, ensuring that hope never truly perishes when anchored in me. Even if you cannot fathom the exact shape of tomorrow's blessings, believe that I am painting a landscape of opportunity and purpose that unfolds precisely when you are ready to receive it. I call you to pray, not as an obligation, but as a genuine dialogue where you pour out your concerns, your gratitude, your uncertainties, and your joys, fully confident that my compassion welcomes every word. Talk to me, my child, in the hush of dawn before the chaos of the day stirs, or in the stillness of night when the world drifts off to slumber. In these intimate moments, your heart finds clarity. Your spirit discerns my direction, and your burdens are slowly replaced by my peace, which stands guard against the persistent illusions of worry. You don't need elaborate ceremonies to reach me, for my ear inclines to each murmur of your soul, and my hand is ready to move on your behalf. Yes, you might have stumbled in the past, or let fear steer you off track, but do not allow those lapses to define you. The path of growth is seldom a straight line. Rather, it meanders through seasons of trial, forging resilience and refining faith as you persevere. I am not a distant observer, waiting to tally your faults. I am the loving Father, urging you to stand once more, to brush off the dust of defeat, and to press forward, secure in the knowledge that your identity is sealed by my unconditional love, not shaped by your failings. Return to me whenever you drift, for my arms remain open, brimming with acceptance that transforms regret into lessons for a brighter tomorrow. I want you to know that I have prepared a future overflowing with blessings for you, a tapestry woven with the threads of my goodness, overshadowing the temporary trials that currently weigh upon your thoughts. These troubles will pass, dear one, for no valley lasts forever, and every storm eventually yields to the dawn of renewal. One day, you will look back in awe, witnessing the tapestry of miracles I performed, the silent battles I won on your behalf, and the perfect timing of my interventions that reshaped your destiny for the better. Keep your spirit focused on me, for in that focus, your heart will glean courage that defies logic, a courage that stands tall against adversity, declaring my God is with me, and my God does not fail. Imagine the day when your burdens finally relent, when your tears transform into laughter, and your darkest nights blossom into testimonies of grace. Visualize the emergence of my promises like flowers bursting through the cold ground of winter, vibrant signs that joy can rise from sorrow. Let these images anchor your mind in the realm of my possibilities, overshadowing the illusions of impossibility that life's circumstances may project. Embrace this vision, for it is not mere wishful thinking, but a reflection of my heart that perpetually desires to bless my children, to see them stand in victory, clothed in perseverance, shining with the brilliance of faith refined by challenges. My love for you will never fade, for it is as timeless as the cosmos and more stable than the mightiest mountain ranges. Even when your emotions waver or your faith feels threadbare, my devotion remains constant, like a lighthouse standing firm amid raging seas. In my eyes, you are prized, a beloved child no darkness can snatch from my hands. Indeed, each sunrise reaffirms my covenant. Each heartbeat testifies that I remain actively engaged in your journey, and each exhalation of fear replaced by inhalation of hope draws you closer to the destiny I carved out for you since time began. I bless you now, beloved, releasing my presence into your life in greater measure, saturating your home with my peace, your relationships with my warmth, and your mind with my clarity. May my grace envelop each moment of your existence, gently unraveling the knots of worry, weaving in new threads of confidence and calm. Walk forward in my peace, not as one who must face life's chaos alone, but as one assured that heaven's authority operates through your faith, orchestrating wonders that transcend what your eyes can see. Let that peace steady your steps. Let it shape your words, and let it fill your dreams with a quiet serenity that no adversity can mute. Look forward with confidence, because the very best truly awaits you just around the bend. Though today's concerns might loom large, they are but stepping stones to tomorrow's breakthroughs, shaping your character and deepening your reliance on my sustaining power. Let your heart stand tall, fueled by the knowledge that I remain unwavering in my commitments, forever enveloping you in my infinite love. Anticipate the wonder, my child, for beyond every obstacle is a new dimension of blessing. Beyond every tear is a wellspring of renewal, and beyond every shadow stands the unshakable light of my presence, guiding you toward wholeness and abundant peace. My dear child, I invite you to linger a moment longer in the warmth of my words, letting them permeate your soul like a gentle stream coursing through a parched desert. You might have read about my love countless times, heard whispers of my grace in worship songs or sermons, yet I want you to experience it anew, tangibly and personally. Encounter me now, not as a distant figure, but as one who intimately cherishes your laughter, your tears, your triumphs, and your fears. Let my voice resonate in your spirit, silencing every lie that insists you are unworthy, unloved, or overlooked. Take heart, for I do not look at you through the lens of condemnation, but through the lens of redemption. My gaze sees beyond your present weaknesses, noticing the potential I placed within you long before you were aware of it yourself. If you find yourself bound by regret, longing for an undo button to erase the mistakes of yesterday, remember that I stand ready to offer you a fresh start, anchored in forgiveness. Come with an open heart, acknowledging the ways you fell short, and watch as my grace rewrites your story, transforming even your worst choices into lessons that build empathy and resolve. Understand that my greatest joy is to see you flourish in every dimension spiritually, emotionally, relationally, and physically rooted in a faith that can weather life's rough edges. You are not condemned to a cycle of fear, repeating the same patterns that yield nothing but exhaustion. Instead, you are called to a thriving existence where my love sustains you day by day, never running dry. Look to me as the wellspring from which you drink the water of hope, returning each time your soul thirsts for reassurance. My supply is inexhaustible, for I am the God who multiplied loaves and fish, who parted oceans, who made the barren womb fruitful, and who still performs wonders in hearts today. Let my peace rest upon your household, saturating the atmosphere with love so tangible that it diffuses tension and fosters unity among everyone who dwells there. Where strife has sown seeds of bitterness, I can uproot them, planting seeds of reconciliation. Where discouragement has overshadowed joy, I can breathe a revitalizing wind that stirs laughter again. Where confusion reigns, I can illuminate clarity, bridging communication gaps, ensuring hearts connect in honesty and compassion. This is the environment I yearn to create for you, a haven reflecting the kindness that flows from my throne, a sacred space where you sense my presence even in the mundane rhythms of the day. Whether you face a physical ailment that drains your vigor or a psychological weight that clouds your perspective, my power remains equally potent to address both, for your entire being matters to me. Do not hesitate to place every aspect of your well-being into my hands. From the fleeting anxieties you brush off as trivial to the major crises that threaten to overshadow your hope, I am the God who sees into every layer of your existence, body, mind, and spirit, and my desire is to bring wholeness to you, weaving my healing power through each fiber of your life. So speak to me about your migraines, your heartbreak, your frustrations, or even your perplexing questions. Nothing is too small or too vast for my fatherly concern. Have you ever paused to notice how even the simplest elements of creation stand as testimonies of my faithfulness? The sun that rises without fail each morning, painting the sky in shades of gold, pink, and crimson. The birds that sing unabashedly at dawn, proclaiming the new day. The flowers that bloom despite the harshness of winter preceding them. These rhythms of nature, though easily overlooked, echo my reliability. If I maintain the cosmic dance of planets and stars, how much more will I maintain your life, ensuring that each season yields lessons and blessings designed to draw you closer to my heart. I take immense delight in hearing you sing songs of worship, whether you carry a tune like a refined soloist or simply hum the melody in your quiet space. Such expressions uplift your own spirit while ushering you into a deeper consciousness of my presence. I do not critique your pitch or technique. I listen to your heart, the seat of all genuine devotion. Let your worship, however simple, remind you that my love envelops every corner of your life, from the cheerful morning routine to the weary late-night hours when stress presses hard. In worship, you relinquish your burdens, and I infuse your soul with heavenly perspective. Sometimes, child, you might hesitate to confide in me, perhaps believing that your concerns are too trivial or that your repeated requests have tested my patience. I tell you confidently, my patience knows no bounds, and my affection for you is never exhausted. I do not grow weary of hearing your voice. Rather, each time you open up, you reaffirm our bond, letting my spirit minister more fully to your needs. Through repeated visits to my throne, your faith strengthens, and you become more adept at perceiving my gentle guidance hidden in everyday encounters. Let go of the notion that you must face your struggles alone. I, your maker, remain your relentless advocate. Keep your eyes open for the subtle ways I answer prayer, maybe through an encouraging word from a coworker, an unexpected solution that surfaces during a quiet moment, or a renewed sense of peace that defies outward circumstances. I do not always provide thunderous manifestations or grand spectacles. Often I prefer the gentle intervention that shapes your life from within, cultivating virtues such as perseverance, patience, and humility. Rejoice in these seemingly small wonders, for they collectively testify to my ceaseless involvement in your life, revealing that grace is not always loud, but is always present. Though the storms of life may swirl with deafening force, trying to wrench away every shred of joy, I assure you that my voice still speaks a clarion call amid the wind and thunder. Peace. Be still. Much as I subdued the tempest on the Sea of Galilee for my trembling disciples, so do I quell the chaos threatening your tranquility today. Even if the storm continues to roar outwardly, I cloak your spirit with my calm, ensuring that inside, a holy serenity takes root, unshaken by outside turbulence. Keep your sight on my unwavering presence in the boat of your life, for you cannot sink while I journey with you. Remember also that my arms remain open for the moments you collapse from sheer exhaustion. If you find yourself dreading sunrise, convinced you lack the energy to face another round of responsibilities, I beckon you to lay those burdens at my feet. Like a parent tenderly tucking a child into bed, I cradle your weariness and softly remind you that my power is made perfect in your weakness. You do not have to muster superhuman resilience every single day. In humility, let me bear what you cannot, so you can experience the fullness of my sustaining grace. Let this awareness free you from the tyranny of self-sufficiency, inviting you to find solace in my boundless mercy. You might wrestle with the question of why certain tragedies occur, or why prayers sometimes seem to go unanswered. And I do not dismiss these heartfelt ponderings. I encourage you to bring your doubts and frustrations to me, rather than permitting them to create a rift between us. I do not fear your questions. My compassion runs deep enough to embrace every bit of your honesty. Over time, as your perspective widens, you may catch glimpses of my greater plan, subtle though they may be. Even if some mysteries persist, let your faith stand on the knowledge that my vantage point transcends the limits of human reasoning, and that ultimately, my love never ceases to work for your good. I urge you, dear child, not to allow the opinions of others to overshadow the identity I have bestowed upon you. Though society may judge your worth by external achievements or fleeting accolades, I see the heart behind each choice you make. Do not chase illusions of acceptance that shift like sand in the wind. Anchor your sense of self in me, the unmovable rock, who declared you worthy long before you could accomplish a thing. In my eyes, your significance stands firm, not subject to the whim of popularity or success. Let that truth comfort you when external validation feels scarce, and carry it as a shield against the arrows of rejection. In times of discouragement, ponder how I once led my people through an impenetrable desert with pillars of cloud and fire, how I leveled massive walls at Jericho, and how I breathed new courage into a timid Gideon. These stories remain far more than ancient tales. They are testimonies to my ability to transform hopeless roads into highways of purpose. Let them feed your faith that I can do the same for you, forging a path where none seems visible, imparting courage to hearts that only see obstacles, and orchestrating victory out of conditions that appear destined for defeat. Let these glimpses of my power anchor your spirit in the unstoppable hope that resides in my presence. When your spirit stirs with compassion for the suffering of others, realize that I, too, am moved by their plight, and I encourage your willingness to reflect my empathy. As you put forth even small acts of kindness, offering a listening ear, a comforting hug, or a meal to the hungry, you display my hands and feet in a world longing for tangible demonstrations of love. Never diminish the impact of these gestures, for I multiply their effect in ways you might never witness directly. In an environment steeped in self-preservation, each act of selfless love beams like a spotlight, guiding souls to the knowledge that I remain intimately concerned for every single life. Whenever guilt or shame attempts to invade your soul, reminding you of past missteps or present failures, raise your head high and remind yourself that my sacrifice on the cross obliterated the finality of condemnation. No transgression stands too colossal for my redeeming grace. No failure so epic that I cannot weave it into a redemptive outcome. Bring your regrets to me. Let me breathe forgiveness over them. Washing you whiter than snow, live in the freedom that my atonement grants. A freedom that bursts forth in joy, an unstoppable sense of worth, and a fervent desire to serve others with the compassion you yourself have received. Though the haze of adversity may linger at times, remain assured that I see your resilience as a sweet fragrance, your determined faith as the triumphant cry that echoes in heaven's courts. The angels marvel at each moment you choose love over retaliation, humility over pride, and grace over vengeance. You prove your belonging to my family each time you take a stand for truth, each time you kneel in prayer for those who have wronged you, and each time you offer mercy where it is undeserved. Cling to this identity, a child of light in a world overshadowed by darkness, and watch how your example quietly transforms hearts around you, sowing seeds that will sprout into new life. I remind you now of my unchanging, unwavering love. It is the same love that parted seas and silenced storms, that reached down in compassion to the lowliest and beckoned the brokenhearted to find rest in my arms. It is the love that spurred me to step into human frailty, to understand your condition from the inside out, and ultimately to lay down my life so that you could rise anew. That love remains inextinguishable, shining upon you each day, not contingent on your performance, but anchored in my eternal covenant. Bask in that love. Let it become the lens through which you interpret your circumstances, the guiding principle in your decisions, and the bedrock that keeps you steady when illusions of hopelessness swirl. I bless you and your household, extending my peace into every heart that dwells with you, saturating each day with tokens of my presence, whether in the form of laughter shared, burdens lifted, or opportunities that open doors of blessing. May my spirit serenade the corners of your life, chasing away shadows and igniting fresh fervor for the mission I have entrusted to you. Like the dew in the morning, my blessings come gently yet consistently, often unnoticed until you pause to reflect on how situations have shifted for the better. Walk forward in my peace, not as a fleeting emotion, but as a robust, deeply rooted assurance that my sovereignty reigns in all matters. This peace guards your heart, preserves your joy, and offers clarity when confusion tries to dominate your thinking. As you step further into the unknown, my peace counters each anxious thought, softly whispering, "Be still. You are held." Let each stride, each plan, each conversation exude this tranquility, testifying to a world that anxiously yearns for a glimpse of hope that my love is real, that my involvement is tangible, and that my promise stands secure beyond the horizon. Look forward with confidence, for indeed, the best is yet to come, shaped by my hands with purpose and timing that transcends human logic. Your present struggles shall become stepping stones, your heartbreaks the soil for compassion, your tears the water that nurtures empathy. Wait in anticipation, for I hold a vantage point across all time, orchestrating events that will culminate in your victory. Let no voice persuade you otherwise, for I am the author of your story, weaving intricacies of grace that yield a harvest of joy. With every day that passes, you step closer to the unveiling of my marvelous plan, a plan that calls you to walk in strength, to dwell in hope, and to rejoice in the unstoppable nature of my unchanging love.